Right, so we're back again. This is Europa Halo Nations Cup. This game is Wales 2 versus England 3. So definitely going to be a hotly contested home nations battle here between the Welsh 2 squad and the England 3 squad. Just to like sort of reference what we were talking about off stream and to pick up on that is this Welsh team's got some very, very good players, a couple of veteran players, and Fluxy and Zah. Zah's been performing at like top 4 level before on LAN with likes of Pacemaker and Pandas back in 2017, 2018 with the
Four
Bucks.
major, like all the top teams.
Top four in European majors. Yeah.
Okay.
So I remember back in a Gfinity event, I think it's 2017. It was Zah, Morga, who's on one of the Netherlands squads, and the two Bucks, Buck 20 and Buck 57, placed top 4 at one of these lands. It's massive and high level play from Zah. But again, to mention what we said off stream, this Welsh team hasn't really played a lot recently. So they haven't picked up the games, and they've maybe just come back for this Europa Halo Cup. Whereas I know, for instance, Dubexal and Boca, especially on the England free squad, have been grinding and playing a lot of Halo 5.
Right. Yeah, I looked at their stats. I looked at Zah, and Zah was actually ranked first in free-for-all, like champion 1. And so, I mean, his individual skill is obviously crazy. He grinded a ton. Like, I saw all the games he's been playing over the years in Halo 5. But like you said, recently, the Welsh just haven't been gaming much. I looked at all their games, and in the past summer season, it's probably like between all of them, maybe like not even 100 games.
Yeah, exactly. And from my knowledge as well, I've teamed with one of the Welsh players, Evil Panda, here before, and I know that he's a very, very strong competitor as well. Plays champ bracket at the last Gfinity Halo 5 LAN as well. And that was on the North American side of teams coming across a lot, very hotly contested tournament. But from the side of the Wales team, they do have the knowledge. That's sort of a key point of it. They might not have a game time recently, but they've all put in hours way at the start of Halo 5, and they definitely
it's like riding a bike.
Yeah, exactly. You don't
come
forget.
Back.
Yeah,
you're not going to lose it.
And then looking at the England free side of things, there's a lot of youngsters in this team. Boomy, Strali, and Boca. I know, especially for Boca, this is a very sort of up and coming player. 17. Halo 5, he's been grinding it throughout the whole of since Halo 5 has been released almost. And I'm looking at Dubexal as a really key player for this side. As a veteran, as the leader, I want him to be the shot caller. And if he's Talon well, these younger players, obviously younger players like to fly across the map. If he's coordinating these pushes and speaking and making sure that they're on top of everything, then England's free squad definitely have an opportunity to cause an upset here.
Yeah, looking at Dubexal, he individually has been putting in some time. Like he went into solo team arena and has put in hundreds of games and is currently sitting at about a middle rank of Onyx, so he's not quite up there with the champion levels, but he has been putting in the practice. He's been, making sure to keep himself ready for the league, and I'm sure that they've put in some time together. I think a lot of them might have gotten into some customs, been able to put in some scrims, so there's always going to be that level of preparation as well. And also you got to think about the out-of-game preparation. A lot of these guys have had time to work on themselves with the break of the HCS grassroots, them not really focused on the pro league, trying to get into that. They're able to just build up their lives and just feel a little bit better, feel a little bit more confident about themselves. So this England 3 team, like you said, they've got the experience, and I'm going to have to put a prediction out that they're probably going to take this 2-0.
Oh, right. Okay. I'm gonna have to play devil's advocate with you here as well. I think the Welsh team, they haven't put the hours in recently, but with the likes of Zah, Evil Panda, and even Fluxy, who's an old school vet, on here, they did pick up recently Dopey Anthony as a sub, and I think that being sort of Dopey Anthony being brought into this squad as a substitute, he's got a lot to prove, and I think he's going to be up for the challenge. And I think Wales, sort of veteran and as you said, riding a bike, they don't forget the basics of Halo, and they all know the basics of Halo 5, and they all know it and played at high level. I think Wales is going to take it, but I think it's going to be a 2-1 to Wales, and I'm ready to jump into this night if you are.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. I think that, since they haven't played and they need to be woken up, so to speak, the giant needs to be brought out, that this first game is heavily going to go in the favor of England. But then maybe the Welsh will be able to just get it together in game 2. And this might be a close one. I don't know, but I really want to see how Zah does. Looking at his stats, hearing about him individually, and also your former teammate, I definitely want to see how these guys are able to perform coming off of such a big break.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Zert on the side of Wales is huge to focus on, but also Boca on the sides of England. He's been putting the hours, he's been putting the grinding, and I'd like to see those who sort of will be the main two sort of star player matchup in this squad as well. As we do jump on with Zert, and it's straight away. What?
Now, looks like they're getting their warm up by shooting each other over there.
I don't think the player has came into this already,
yeah,
so unfortunately we'll have to have a restart most likely here, as every single player didn't really come out of the races. I thought it was a very weird strat for England at the start.
Right?
Just all holding their carbine swords.
Well, Ryan Noob had a strat way back in the day. It was in Halo Reach. He would nade himself and kill himself right off the rip of the game, and the other team would be confused. They'd be like, "What the heck?" And that would randomize his spawn, and it would sometimes send him behind the enemy team within 10 seconds. So if the other team wasn't fast enough and they didn't push across the map fast enough, then he'd already be behind them, shooting them in the back, and then they would get map control and power weapons, and they would be ready to roll. I mean, it was a legitimate starting strat. I thought that might have been something that was happening. I should have known better.
Some sort of mastermind that DubXL has been playing in these custom games. Oh yeah, if we all play 3 at the start of Carbine, they'll push out over here, and we'll just suddenly magically. I think that just shows how like Marani is one of these really intelligent players and always has been in these Halo games. I'm not even surprised that some sort of strat like that is been masterminded by him. But we will have a full restart here. We're just confirming on both teams are ready to go and get into this one. Maybe a bit of a connection issue at the start of that last game. Not everybody maybe being present or the like as well. But I mean, it was talk about the start for Wales versus Wow. It did seem to be very sort of cohesive in what they wanted to do. We saw 2 people push engine, 1 push and push camo, and 1 push tower. That's a standard sort of red team start on this map. Right. And I was very surprised. I was like, oh yeah, Zo's grabbed the camo straight away. Easy camo.
Wow. Free power up. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you can just look at that and be like, okay, well, the other team didn't even see what they were doing, so they're probably going to just run that strat again. They're going to do the exact same thing. So starting up here, we can expect that to happen. We're just going to see 2 fly engine, get ready for that camo. 1 maybe go up to tower. 1 immediately take the try to get a lower angle on the sniper. Try to see where it's going to go. Get the nest, and that is one of the best starts you can have. Really, you always want to put multiple people on the power up, but you don't want to put everyone there. You don't want to put too much focus on it, because then you're going to be distracted from the scatter shot, from the sniper, from the people on the flanks. But the camo is going to be essential. You at least want to see it burned.
And there we go, we're jumping on board with Fluxy to start. He's pushing towards the scatter shot, yellow corner, and he's going to have an individual fight here with a player on the blue team. Nice shots from Fluxy here. I'm just looking towards camo, if it's been grabbed off of stream here. I think it must have been burned, but Sniper is in the hands of Boca, as you now see on stream, but he's getting pushed down straight away by camo with camo scatter shot. On the other team, Evil Panda picking up that camo, and he still is alive. Big initial shots from Evil Panda here as he gets 2, and he's now got Sniper and Scattershot looking in towards Engine Plat. So good start from the Welsh team as the blue team are now spawning back bunker. Nice shots still coming in from Evil Panda.
Yeah, this is such a deadly combo to have, and you can see exactly why, because up close, you're just going to get the kills. Oh my god, if that would have been a lunge, I would have jumped out of my chair. That was a crazy potential triple kill. He got a little crazy there. As soon as he got naded, he kind of freaked out, gave up his positioning, all because of that missed lunge. He should have just repositioned himself and gotten the sniper in a better location. But now jumping on to DubXL, he's got the sniper, and let's see what he can do with it.
So initial start from Wales. All 4 of their kills have came from Evil Panda at the start of this game with that camo, scattershot, and sniper combo. Obviously, every single power weapon and power up on the map. But now DubXL using the last of that sniper bullet. So snipers off the map. It's going to become more of a traditional game here. Nice team shot coming from the blue team. You see 2 players baiting and switching that Welsh player at the back of back rail, and DubXL is looking to push towards this top white corner spawn here. And you can see the teamwork from the England free squad here already. See a lot of players all together pushing as a team. There's a player back bunker. I don't like XL's push there as well. He could have backed away, having team support, but made a bit of crazy comms as we're still everybody's trying to still settle into this first game. And as you said, this is their first game of this sort of matchup. They've already played a game already in the tournament. They're still just getting used to how he's matching up and setting up in this rigged Slayer game. They're still looking for control, and it looks like Wales are trying to push for it now.
When you're away from the game, your comms are going to be way different than when they're polished, when they're practiced. You're going to just naturally want to call out what's in front of you. You're wanting to call out the other team. That's not the way you need to be talking. So that's what they're going to have to adjust. They're going to have to start talking about what they're going to do as a team, like where they're going to push, when they're going to push, when certain players have help, when you have shots into a certain player, who's weak, who's not weak, who's full shields when you're going into a situation, what time the power up is coming, if y'all want to push or not. All of these little intricacies of how you shot call as a unit really come into effect. And what's probably happening right now for Wales is that they're just saying, one shot here, he's going over here, he's running, he's here, he's in this corner here. And that's just not going to work out. And you see right there, though, a little bit of life is coming out of Wales. They are starting to put in a little bit more work, trying to get this comeback going. Evil Pander doing his best to dodge these grenades. This sniper is going to be massive. He needs to stay alive with it.
And I think another thing as well is in a group like this, there's only 3 teams in this group. So one of these teams would have already played a warm-up game. And I'd like to try to find out which one that is. And then whereas another team's going to be out cold already. So if England 3 have already... Yeah, so
England 3 have gotten the warm-up in.
So England have already played against this Netherlands squad. So they've already played as a team in this competitive tournament, whereas Wales is still, they sat out the first sort of half an hour of the tournament, so just waiting for maybe probably some matchmaking practice. But they're not going to get as good practice as actually playing in the tournament. So this is their sort of initial game, and they're just about waking up. But it might be a bit too late here, as England seem to just be... It's a very scattered game at the moment. There's no sort of control for either squad. It seems almost like individual plays and individual skills coming out as there's not really a lot of team pushes I can see coming out from either squad. But Boca with 2 kills on the sniper, just seeing that off stream as well as he's pushing towards Catwalk, looking for the 2 last spawners on the Welsh squad. So camo for Boca as well, sniper in his back pocket, and it's looking very good for England 3. So your prediction was definitely right there, Nighty, saying that this England 3 squad are going to be hot. They're going to have played a lot more hours, and it's definitely proving here. I mean, the comms is definitely something which is very big to focus on, as you said. And on the Welsh side, it's going to be frustration as well, as they just can't seem to get anything put together. And frustrated comms is never a good sign as well. As a wingman comes in, and that just shows the comms on the side of the England side as well. Getting a wingman, obviously, meaning your clear call outs towards where these players are spawning and where, and you put him the shots down which you need to for your squad. And he's still got camo here, Boca, and he's almost used the whole of his camo without being contested.
Very nice job right there, letting his teammate get the damage and then going to get the cleanup. He put the camo to very good use. That is a very productive power-up. You always want to see it maintained like he did. Boca, fantastic work out of him. But Boomy is alone right now. He needs to be very smart. They know exactly where he is. He needs to just back up and wait for his team.
Yeah, nice rotation up from Boomy, going towards his teammate Boca here. As he realised all of his teammates are pushing towards that catwalk side, in a Whitehall side as well. We're just going to look at the stats here. Dopey Anthony, the sub coming in, not one of the strongest starts to this game. Maybe a bit out of practice in terms of he wasn't expecting to play until today, so it might take him a bit to wake up as well. But it seems like the England team have just been in control. It's been a sporadic, a bit scattered game on Brig Slayer. But it looks like the England team's sort of natural play time and individual skill pushed out and came out on top of the Welsh team.
Yeah, I mean, that was my prediction, but you had a great point that they were already in a match. They already got extremely hot. So not only did they have that immediate advantage of preparation, but they also had that as well.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing to look at. That's a big talking point, is that these guys were ready to rock and roll with a real matchup. They had a tournament match before this, so that got them real hot. Looking at this, oh my gosh, this is just too one-sided. 11 kills coming out of Evil Pander. That really kept them in it for a while, but eventually the rest of them were just not able to keep up. That is just a huge game coming out of Strawley. Strawley with 19 kills, massive damage, 2,300, great accuracy with a 15.6 KDA. Jeez Louise. I mean, that is just too one-sided. Hopefully the morale on the side of Wales is able to come back from that.
Yeah, definitely. I think that was a Strawley show there. We didn't see him much on stream, but 19 for 6, massive stats coming out from Strawley. Evil Panda, a note at the start of that game, had the initial first 4 kills of Wales. Made a good start with him picking up scatter shot and sniper, but they never seemed to get on the same page as each other. I think the Welsh team were very much scattered about the map. And it shows that, the 11 kills from Evil Panda keeping them close, or keeping them as close as it did. But England definitely individually played better, and as a team coercion. And it shows that even at the bottom, WXL sitting comfortably on a 10 for 9, didn't have to do much, only 1,300 damage, as Strawley would seem to be flying about the map with 2,300 there.
And some evidence to me that really shows the, just the preparation is the movement was more what was able to win that game for England, I believe. It was not anything to do with the power weapons being just so out of reach, because you saw Wales with the power weapons. You saw Evil Pander, he got 4 power weapon kills. England had 4 power weapon kills. So it was pretty even along both sides. Both were playing extremely smart with it. And, ultimately it just came down to the swarm. The swarming was so much better on England's side. They were running around corners three strong. And when that happens, there's not going to be a trade. I mean, unless there's like a lucky stick or, you don't have time to do anything. You immediately get shut down. So that they were just rotating around the spawns and getting a nice circulation on that map. The Slayer was played to perfection. But an objective is different. An objective, it can all click a little bit differently for this Wales team in this next game.
Yeah, definitely. I think another thing to mention for Wales is they just didn't seem to have top control at all in that game. I saw multiple times on my own screen different Wales players just sort of sitting in basement or maybe Nest or E1 and not sort of being able, maybe because of the pressure of the England squad. And I remember 2 times in that game where England soared Engine 2 with 3 players. I think it was WXL on screen, but Boomy and Strawley were also there. Soared E2 as Wales was spawning bunker and just put pressure straight away. And we saw it as well. Smart plays from the England side, which doesn't translate into stats or whatever, but we saw Boomy backing down from a challenge from a place he shouldn't have been, pushing towards his teammates. It's a big sort of smart plays, which doesn't translate into the stats necessarily, but knowing where your teammates are and rotating as a squad is key. Not trying to fight these individual fights, not trying to make these individual plays. It's a team game, and England played as a better team. Yeah,
it's it's tough. Like when you don't put in as many games, and then you're thrust into a top tier type competitive matchup. I mean, it can be kind of jarring. It's kind of like I don't want to say. I guess it's kind of like a shell shock. That's kind of a big term to use, but in the gaming world, in the competitive world, especially real sports, traditional sports, if you're playing against a practiced professional team and you're coming hot out of college, you're going to feel it fast.
Yeah.
And it's going to be painful. And that's exactly what we just saw.
Yeah, England had the hot hands, as we said. And also Wales, nothing to mention, their initial lineup was Looney, Evil Panda, Zert, and Fluxy. And they had Looney drop out recently and Dopey Anthony coming in. So maybe they might have even put some practice in with Looney as a squad. But then having a new sub come in, a new sort of play style, is definitely going to take maybe quite a few matches to get used to them. So I'd like to see how they get on with Netherlands 1 later on in this tournament. But definitely at the moment, it seems that England are hot and Wales need to maybe even slow things down as well. So Wales is key strategy now, with England flying and soaring as well at them, and having this top control is maybe slow it down, maybe get composure. So I think that the comms are going to be scattered if they're just going to keep spawning and dying, or trying to push out as individuals. So getting a composure, getting a team talk, saying stuff like the little things, not just one shot here, right? Say I'm with you, I've got your help, let's push here.
There you go.
Name people as well. You know, if one of your teammates is going engine 2 and you're pushing with him, don't just sort of just run behind him. Go, okay, Zert, I'm with you, or X, I'm with you. And I think that's going to be a huge thing, which is almost, you then have that confidence as that initial pushing player. Okay, I've got my teammates back behind me. My teammates got my back, sort of thing. And going into strongholds, that's even more crucial. You know, that initial.
Mentally, they're going to need to prepare for this. And I think it's that game one that really is what's going to either make or break them. Like, that's going to show, okay, look, this team is not messing around. We need to get it together. We need to basically reset. That is what is necessary for them to bring a whole new attitude to this game. Otherwise, it's it. That's the series. I mean, it's that simple. It's like, we can give up now and just let it happen and roll over, or we can step up here and make it happen. And, you know, I don't know. You have teamed with Evil Panda. Is he that kind of guy?
I think that this Wales 2 squad are a number 1 seed in this group. And they're not number 1 for no reason. They have definitely that talent. Zart, as we mentioned before, well, you said champ one, best free-for-all player. It's a really strong free-for-all player. Individual talent is there, and even if he's not been playing Halo 5 recently, that doesn't go away altogether. And his team knowledge can be very high. Evil Panda and just Noma guys like Evil Panda, Zart, they're all very cool, calm-headed individuals, which will realise, okay, right, we need to step up here. They're not going to roll over. They're not going to give up, especially against an England squad. This is Wales, this is England. This isn't like a team. This is a team. This is going to be a home nation battle, and Wales want that bragging right. And I definitely think that they're going to reevaluate. They've got a bit of time here as we're having a bit of a break to talk to themselves, and this is the key sort of time. I know for a fact that England are going to be talking about their strategies, and for Wales, it's almost like they need to just have that composure, even if it's just to have a laugh and joke. Maybe not talk about the game all the time and stress about it. Just
absolutely
sit back, relax, and get in a mindset where you're ready to play. And that is such a big thing.
There's a funny thing that I remember that Ghost Ayame, who was on Carbon for the longest time in Halo 2 and Halo 3, he would always say, "Oh, they got lucky." He would totally just like, he wouldn't even worry about some of these games. Like, sometimes you'd get blown away. It would happen. But then you knew that you could come right back. So he would just use that term. "Oh, they got lucky." And just, just try to be funny, just bring up the team spirit. And a lot of the times you'll see, like, when Snakebite on Tox he'll get real serious. He'll be like, "Guys, we're doing this wrong, we're doing that wrong. We really got to get together." And they'll lose a game, and he'll just try to be going into every little detail about what they need to do and what they need. This is during practice, but still Lethal will come in and he'll be like, "Shut up, man."
Yeah.
I mean, they're still going to be serious and take their practice 100%. They're going to be professionals about it. But he just cracks jokes all the time. Lethal's so good about that. When the heat and the pressure is on, he knows how to take a step back and just be like, "All right, we just need to chill. We need to collect ourselves, calm down. That was just that was unlucky." He doesn't say that. He's not that kind of guy that would say that, but he definitely would be like, "I'm not worried about that game because I know the next game we're going to dominate."
Yeah, and that is such a big point, is in terms of these players all know their own talent. They're not going to be in this tournament if they don't think they're a very good player or they have the ability to perform. And especially from the likes of Zerb, where I know he's played and competed and placed at high levels in Europe. Same for Panda as well, and maybe Fluxy back in the day, very veteran player. They know that they know their abilities. They know that they can turn around and instantly, and I think that's what they're going to be focusing on now. It's just sort of like, it's just taking a seat back. And I remember, like, mentioned what about Ghost Yamo. I do remember back in the day, Carbon being 5-0 down when it used to be the old best of 11, 5-0 down to agency and coming back and winning 6-5. And that was probably from that mentality. Like, wasn't it? Like,
Yes. I was in the stands for that.
Were you?
I watched that entire series. It was one of the greatest MLG moments ever. I'm not even kidding. It was my first major LAN, like, period. My first national LAN. It was Charlotte 2007, Charlotte, North Carolina, East Coast. Just it was so great, man. Walking into that venue, hearing all the BRs going off because we're playing split screen, free for all. They're, every television's jacked up to 100, and they're just like
Oh, that's
echoing
awesome.
throughout the venue. And the main stage is like exploding with just like music and just all sorts of stuff going on over there. And then you get into the stands and you're watching the finals. Uh, the agency, Elamite Warriors team, they actually beat Carbon early. They upset
Yeah.
them early in that tournament and sent them down to the losers. And so Carbon had to fight their way back all the way through losers. They finally get to losers finals to play against Agency again. So it was a continuation series, which went to game 11. So they were down 5-1, and they came all the way back 5 games to
Yeah.
win that series. And
Oh,
I
that's
just,
awesome.
oh
That must have
my,
been amazing to be in the crowd as well. Like such a hype moment like that. Such a build up. And that series must have been so sort of long, and eventually all this tension sort of building up. It's 5-3, 5-4, 5-5, and it meant that last game. Like
the whole venue was going nuts because at that point in the tournament, everybody's done competing. Everybody's pretty much done with their weekend. It's championship Sunday, and everybody's just chilling in the stands and watching. And you see that. You see Carbon. You see it like 18-year-old guys, pretty much boys, they're competitors. They're freaking athletes at this point, and they're winning championships. They just came hot off of 2006 World Championship. And yeah, Go Siami's mentality was just, all right, let's take it one game at a time. And that's what they did. That's how you come back. That's how you get yourself back into it. And that's what I want to see out of this Wales roster. Wales
yeah.
roster really needs to just get it together. I don't want to see them roll over. I don't think anybody really does. We want to see a show.
Yeah, exactly. And you've hit the nail on the head, Nighty, as well. Is this Wales roster, I'm confident they can just turn around and go, okay, right, let's do this. And it'll be another dominant performance from them against the England squad. But they all have their talent. They all know the ability they have. And this sort of time is very key in terms of this sort of break we've had. Is such a key to see what these two teams are going to be like, and having, like, if you could eavesdrop on the comms to see if they're just going to be relaxing, chilling, or it's going to be very sort of tense. And I think this almost as well for Wales, as in they've just sort of formed, they've just picked up this new sub. It's been a bit of time to get to know everybody as well, speak to each other, have a chat, be more friendly, and if you're more confident, you're more trusting of someone if you know them more as well, if that makes sense. So definitely coming into this and getting to know each other's abilities and realizing that these are just your fellow countrymen and you all want to win is such a key thing as well. And I think the Wales can definitely turn things around. And as I said, I predicted a 2-1 to Wales, so I hope they do my prediction as well.
So who's the shot caller for this team for Wales? Who's the guy that's going to be like, all right, guys, get your head out of your butts and let's get this started?
Right. I think in terms of emotionally side of things, like emotionally powerful, I think that Zut is a very calm-headed person. I think Zut is going to be in game. He's going to be, okay, guys, let's do this. But he's not going to be like overly like pumping people up. Whereas the likes of Evil Panda is definitely going to be a person who's going to be right. We can do this. We can let's get that sort of motivational team talk before the game starts. And that's your sort of your outside of game leader. Is definitely going to be Evil Panda. And in game, you're going to look for Zut, that veteran sort of professional leadership, and he knows what to do, and he's very calm-headed voice as well. And he's got to be calling the shots in game, and he's got to also keep his head and keep concentrated and keep his team in line as well. And it might be the case for the likes of Dopey Anthony, who might not have competed at this level as well. And this might be a massive thing for Dopey Anthony as a substitute coming in. Telling him what to do, just okay, Anthony, push here, or push with me, and that sort of thing, and having that communication, and it's definitely another thing which will help out and help as a squad. And as you said, I mean, jumping back to the French-Italy game, if you've got 4 players pushing, making the wrong call, but they're making it together, it's most going to work out. And I think Wales have got to sort of utilise that strategy in a way as well, in terms of getting everybody on the same page. Even if it's not the right page, at least everybody on the same page, you have a better chance.
Yeah. A lot of the times I look back on the times where I was down in a series and I'd lose game 1. It almost didn't even feel like because that was my mentality going into matches, was that if I lost game 1, but I was already like, okay, I'm better than the other team anyways. I don't even need that game. I still have a chance to just 2-0 them. I wasn't even worried about it. And that's kind of how you got to be. You just got to keep your cool and just really go into the next game. Just focus on it completely. And a lot of the times you'll see teams just, bitch and moan about what they did wrong in the game prior. That's not what you need to do. You need to be like, okay, this is Rigged Stronghold. This is going to be played different. What are we going to do to focus on the rotations? What are we going to do to focus on the power weapons this time? What are we going to do this time around that is better than last time? Let's not worry about that game, although it is on Rig, so it's like a rig.
Yeah, exactly. The Stronghold Slayer plays different, and it's very much a different style, and they've had a bit of a break now. They can compose themselves again, and England as well won't be as hot. And as we can see, Zer jumping on board with Zer right at the start of the game. He is going to cap this BR base and look towards pushing this tower side. He's got his teammate. Evil Panda does have camo as well, so Wales have that initial camo off the start. But it is a two-hill start for England as they have the early lead.
Yeah, Evil Panda knew that there was multiple players around him, but he decided to go for the trade, which, in my opinion, isn't his best bet. Like, if you're down in a series and you're looking to make a big deal out of your start, and you get the power weapon or power up, you want to make sure that you stay alive with it as long as possible. You want to get as much out of it as you can. Unfortunately, right there, he just had to go for the trade. The railgun is going to be lost, and 3 down for Wales right now. This is a good opportunity for England just to start to end it, but it looks like we are going to go for a restart. These players are just going to stay still right now. Oh man, I forgot about that skin though. I love that skin. That skin on that pistol is like the Tron Legacy. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, no, I haven't seen the movie. I know the skin you're on about. What skin are you rocking when you go into Arena 90?
I actually listened to the theory that the less amount of skins that you have, the smoother your game is.
Yeah.
Like there's like when you go onto a brand new account and you have like no rec packs, it moves smoother. I swear to God that's true. I swear to God it works.
I mean, I think even if it doesn't, but I think it does as well. I think I agree with you. It's that initial sort of like where you start a new account, you have that sort of Smurf account, you play and think, I'm a lot smoother aim here. There's a lot sort of like it almost feels more like a land side of things. I mean, on my main though, I've got all these skins set up, and I've got the old Luminosity skin on my pistol. Do you remember back in Matt team? It was
that was Ninja's team, right? Ninja Victory X.
Ninja Victory X. I think Naded and
was Naded on that team?
Naded was on Luminosity for a bit.
I thought it was L-Town and Saiyan.
Oh yeah. That was the later Luminosity. I was meant back. The initial Pro League team was Victory X, Naded, Denoxide, and L-Town. And I think Naded and Denoxide left that team, and Ninja rejoined, or something along those lines. I remember
I think Ninja's last event was with them.
With Luminosity,
and they did really well. They got like top 4. They got fourth place. Which was pretty darn good for that roster at that time, because I mean they were playing against absolute juggernauts.
Yeah. At prime of Halo 5's esports as well, especially. I definitely remember that. So I'm rocking the Luminosity. Always have done since that initial showing in the Pro League. It's nice to see that. I do remember that esports representation of all the squads and seeing those skins released. A straight ripping skin was another I remember.
Dude, that's so cool. Like, I really, really, really hope Infinite it goes a little bit further with that. Like maybe you can do some more with like your armor customization. So I know they're doing it with Master Chief Collection, where you can do it with Halo 1. You can make your armor look different, and that is a key element of why people loved Reach so much, was because you could do stuff like that. If we can like integrate player branding onto like weapon skins or armor, that'd be so sick. But we are going to get into the game here. Looks like we are ready to rock and roll. I don't see where the camo went. Scattershot is in the hands of Fluxy. Camo looks like Dub XL has it. He is going to be in the basement. He's going to be trying to fight this player for control of the stronghold. He's going to be able to get the kill, and he is just going to chill playing out. It looks like we have a little bit of a problem, though. Just some technical issues we got to resolve before we start the matchup. Guys, hang with us for a little bit. But let's talk about the start again. Now that both teams have kind of seen what each other are going to do on the start of the stronghold, now we're going to see again. This is one of those moments where it's like you can't really prepare for it, right? Like you have in the back of your mind, okay, we have a plan for what we're going to do on every map, but we don't have multiple plans. We don't have this ability to adapt under fire. We don't know what we're going to do once a curveball like this is thrown at us. Once there's an issue, once there's a technical, or whether it's technical or it's out of game, whether there's something else going on, you've got to be ready for that. You've got to have plan Bs and plan Cs. And so hopefully both teams are going to be talking about what they're going to be doing at the start of the game now, because both teams are going to be ready for it. You don't want to just randomly jumble up your organization. You don't want to just be like, oh, well, they'll never guess this. It's like, no, exactly. Because then the other team can just come back at you with exactly the start they had before and probably come out on top, because it's a well-oiled, well-planned, execution at the start. So this is why the practice really comes into effect. This is why the games played is really going to help England here.
Yeah, exactly. And I think having these restarts as well, it's about a mentality to bounce back and again, just, okay, let's keep playing our game. Let's keep playing our game and focus on just as you said, those initial starts, and not try and get lost in the fact, oh yeah, we were up in that game, but it's had to restart again. Just because these are all still early doors, and early doors in any stronghold game is very sort of scattered and just vying for initial control. And I think having the likes of Zur on the Welsh team is very good, because Zur would have practiced many different strategies and setups and ways to play strongholds as well. And I think he is a person to look for in these moments for the Welsh team to definitely control and sort of command what's going to happen and how they're going to start of this game. And it's not necessarily a specific start as well. It's that initial first half a minute to a minute where you want to try and push towards a stronghold and get that first setup.
Oh yeah, it's a chess game. You've got to have the big picture in your mind at all times. It's a long matchup. There's a lot that can go wrong. And you've got to know exactly where your rotations are going to lie, whether you're going to go around the other team, whether you're going to push through them, whether you're going to make sure to wait and just absolutely dominate your side and your stronghold, try to take two, or just go for the third. There's a lot of things that you can think about, a lot of things that can go wrong in a stronghold game type. But going back, I want to talk about the call shot, the guy that's going to be making all the calls. That guy is so rare in the competitive scene. When you find a guy like that, when you see somebody that can be a really good in-game leader, the IGL, man, that guy is like gold. He's like somebody that is the most valuable in competitions. Like you look at teams, like the top teams, you look at, like Snakebite and Frosty and Lethal and Royal 2, 3/4 of that team all tell each other what to do. They all have ideas. And that is all incredible. That's going to be helping you in so many different ways. Each player is going to bring a lot. If each player can bring a lot to the table like that, then it's just going to make your team all the much better.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's what the comms is all about. And seeing that initial start, as it does look like the red team, England 3, are going to get control of the initial first strongholds, but it still is a bit of a scattered game. It's I'm looking towards Nest at the moment, as it is England 3 trying to cap this one. But Wales do have the Whitehall control and Tottenham control at the moment. Scattershot in the hands of Boomy as he's trying to lock down basement for his squad, and his squad do pick up Nest as well, so they're going to be spawning Wales back in this BR base bunker spawn. And this BR base bunker spawn is a trap almost, especially if you could have tower control, as players do break out and spawn at Carbine as well. So it's looking like England have the early lead and early control in this game.
Scatter shot in hand. Want to see him use this entire clip. Play real smart with it. He's in a very good location. You see the players outline. They're going to be pretty much out of position to take him out. So he's in a good way right now. He's going to be... Oh, boy, the body disrespect coming out of Boomy now. He is feeling it. They are looking to dominate this game, take it 100-0. That is 3 down, more body disrespect, all dead for Wales. This is getting nutty.
This is getting absolutely intense as well, and Boomy just showing the disrespect. That's the confidence coming in from him as well. He's like, well, we're going to win this game. I'm going to show exactly what I think about that. Couple of bags coming in from the squad as we jump aboard with Strally. Nice shots from Strally, shooting down that player in white corner. Doesn't get the kill, but be communicating to his team. And it looks like Wales just don't have that team coercion. They don't have the team pushers on board at the moment. As Strally's confidence soaring into engine to finish off this kill here as well. So constant pressure coming in from England 3 here. It's looking very, very solid. Good shots again from Strally as he gets a killing spree. There's 2 players on the side of England getting killing sprees early on in this game as well. And Rail in the hands of DubXL as he just gets taken out.
Camo's been up for about 10 seconds. It was just grabbed at 42, so look for that to be popping. The camo was grabbed by a player on
grabbed
Wales.
it, but he was taken out. Zerg grabbed it and was taken out as well. Big kill on DubXL with Rail from Zerg grabbing camo, but he was almost targeted by 2 England players there. So camo no longer in play as we're looking still towards DubXL as he has outside control. Hopefully trying to push and put pressure on the carbine spawns here. Back rails, the Welsh players just seem to be always on the defensive here. There doesn't seem to be much aggression coming out from Wales. They almost just seem to be getting the pressure and putting and absorbing and trying to absorb the pressure as England just seem to be in control and soaring out.
Yeah, this is what you call rolling over. This is not a fight. This is a beatdown. England is just taking it to them. The needle's coming in hot, and that is going to be a needle kill, the first one in the cup.
Oh, absolutely crazy plays from DubXL. And obviously, that's a statement in a way as well. I don't even have to use my pistol. I'm going to use one of the weak guns, the Needler, and get these kills. Nice back there. As he's still just dominating around, looking for this player, just evaded, still holding the Needler, still being a presence on the map, and finally taken out by Evil Panda. But saying that now, Wales do have control of two bases, and they're capping a third with Xur and the Scattershot in BR base. So this could be the time for Wales to get some score, get some composure, and get some map control, as well as Xur with Scattershot down below, and Fluxy just taken out on the screen as well. So Xur, I'm looking at Xur at the moment with his Scattershot as he is looking towards Nest. Looking at the back ledge, looking to see where these players are. There is a player, it's individual player capping Nest, and hopefully Xur can get there in time to stop this capture. He just about does. It's a huge kill from Xur. His team are losing BR base, but Nest is the power stronghold to have on the map. Nice nade onto a player with Rail gun as well. And it looks like Xur's just out by himself here with a Scattershot, trying to find the players on England. Picking up a Rail gun, so he'll have the Scattershot Rail combo, and this is a big moment as Camo's about to come up. Burnt Camo, nice kill from Xur, gets a killing spree. And some individual plays, individual brilliance coming in from Xur to keep Wales in this game.
Yeah, that is going to be huge to be able to control that railgun. And also there was a triple cap for just a little bit coming out of Wales. So there is some life being shown. They're not completely out of this. There's 7 minutes to go. Anything can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm looking on board at Evil Panda getting a kill bottom engine. They do need to get some top control here as they only have a BR base. Still on board of Evil Panda as they do have Wales players pushing towards the Nest, just trying to find these England players. But England here just keep trying to play alive, trying to play their lives. Nice reset coming out from England in the Nest, and that means they're going to have to cap it again by themselves. I'd like to see some help here from Evil Panda as he just is solo capping Nest by himself. Always want to play it, even if it's just basing and watching the pushes from Catwalk. You don't want someone single capping Nest in this game type. But it looks like England still have the control here as they are barreling towards a quick swift victory. 80 points on board now.
Yeah, Boomy was pretty weak right there, but he had a very well-placed grenade, just playing it extremely smart, very composed, and playing with his team. He is always with another player, and right there you see the aggression immediately on the objective. Great efficiency out of him, and he gets the trade. Huge double out of Boomy.
Huge plays from Boomy. Great individual shot, great confidence as well. And we saw him bagging earlier, and we saw his confidence, and he definitely is keeping it up as Strally picks up Railgun, spots player Tower 2, nice shots onto him, stays alive with Railgun as key, and he's just putting pressure as Wales are spawning back bunker. Nice shot of a player off spawn there, and it just seems to be complete control, complete domination on the England squad as another Railgun kill comes in from Strally. Killing spree, game over. 100-23. What a result for England.
Oh, man, absolute wreckage. There didn't seem to be much of a competition there at all. That's where practice will beat talent 100% of the time. If you're not prepared, then be prepared to lose, because it is not going to be pretty for you. What is it? The failing to plan is planning to fail.
Yeah, exactly. And just look at the scores there. 18 for 6 for Boomy, 21 for 10 for Strali. Strali went to combined, I think 40 kills in 2 games on the rig. 40 for 16 or something absolutely crazy like that. What a stat he's just dropped. And you can just see it in the power weapon kills on this map specifically, as they just seem to have railgun most of the game. There's 4 kills on the Welsh team and there's 10 kills on the England team. But again, you're just looking at, I mean, on the stat side of things, Strali didn't even have a stronghold, but he didn't need to because he was always putting down constant pressure on the squad against Wales there.
Yeah, Strali just having. Am I saying that right? Strali or Strali?
I think it's Strali. Okay. But I think either or.
21 kills out of that man, 12 assists. I mean, just getting across the board incredible amounts of damage on the other team. 2,700, 78%. I'm sorry, 72% accuracy. Just incredible. Wild. That is wild. And then also 6 power weapon kills. I mean, that he had more power weapon kills, 2 more than the entire other team combined.
I mean, absolutely incredible. And I think just across the board, when you get putting down slays like that, it's impossible for the Welsh team to even get anything going if they're always being constantly pressured. I remember Strali being top tower, pre-firing rail or pre-charging a railgun, expecting the spawns at back bunker. So huge sort of control and play. And if you're only alive for 2-3 seconds or getting pressured straight away off spawn from Wales, you can't even get anything going. And we saw that in the game. They did have a nice bit of triple capture, and they do still have a game left in this group stage against the Netherlands squad. So hopefully we're a bit more warmed up and they can bounce off of the positives from this series as they just need to go back and as we said, chill, focus. And get on the same page. Get on the same page is key. Maybe look at the game they're about to play. Maybe look at the game types and say, okay, right, this is what we need to do. This is what we need to go do at the start of the game, early game, end game. And at least just having that sort of level of knowledge and knowing what each player is going to do will help them out as they play Netherlands in the last game of this group. But for England, on the other hand, a fantastic win for them. They will go and progress onto the knockout stages. So huge result for the England squad.
Yeah, a tremendous job out of them. They looked great, just a really good unit, and I'm saying they could definitely make some noise in the tournament. These guys just look very, very well coordinated, and I'm not sure how they're going to stack up against the other practice teams, but I'm looking forward to it. Just tremendous matches ahead.
Yeah, exactly, and just to mention that as well, we're very, very. Soon and only just started. We've got the group stage. We've got one more group game left to go on stream before the knockouts. We've still got a lot of Halo action, a lot of European Halo action, and it's only going to get heated up and more fired up as this tournament goes on and progresses. And this England free squad have definitely put on a statement here. They've just taken out number 1 seed in their group as well, and they're the 3rd seed. So that's a big upset in terms of the actual result. And 90, I put my hands up. You were correct in the predictions of a 2-0 for England, and definitely a nice swift 2-0 for that.
Yeah, man. I do try, yeah. But I'm not always right. But when I'm right, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, exactly. So we're just going to hop onto a break here, guys, and we'll be back for Group Game 3 after a break.